Boss, if you have a cargo van business or you have a sprinter van business or a box truck, if you have a kind of delivery business, there are some insurance mistakes that you really need to avoid. Absolutely. Because if you don't want to lose money big time, those mistakes should be really something that you take care of right away. Okay. So here's an overview I really want you to pay attention to. The thing here is that when you are buying, let's say, cargo van insurance, sprinter van insurance, or box truck insurance, or generally commercial auto insurance, there are a few things I want you to pay attention to. The first thing is focusing only on cost is a big mistake. Boss, I'm just like giving it up to you like straightforward. Because the most common and fatal mistake when purchasing any insurance is like you think about the cost. But the final cost should never be your only decision-making criterion. Why? Because there are a lot of things, like if let's say if an accident happened, you don't want to think about cost at that time. Okay, and the value of premiums does vary from one insurer to another, as it will other factors in the market. So just keep in mind, if you go for a cheap ass premium, if you go for a cheap ass insurer, you may actually regret it when it comes time to actually paying you some benefits in terms of the accident that happened. Always think about risk. Always, when you think about insurance for your cargo van business, always think about risk. Okay, a very cheap policy might be hiding coverage pitfalls that can actually cost you dearly when you need it most. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. I love to have this kind of convo every now and then. So when we talk about your cargo van business, think about all the constellation of things you do to make sure you cover yourself. It's important to know exactly what you are being quoted for, which coverage is included in the quote, in the amount of the deductible, the type of assistance offered, and then you want to compare it with a second or third quote with the same parameters. Okay, so it's really important. Not only it's just a lot better to contact, let's say, an insurance agent. Don't do it yourself. Contact an insurance agent and see if they can actually help you out. Or you can actually go to a commercial auto insurance website that allows you to actually see, for example, like you see for your situation. Because again, insurance for your cargo van is a geography thing. If you're somewhere in Dallas, Texas, or somewhere in Chicago, Illinois, you're not going to be quoted the same amount. So focusing only on cost is the first big mistake you are doing if you're doing that. Number two, cutting back on liability insurance. Yeah, I know. I mean, times are tough. A lot of folks are just trying to cut back on liability insurance because they think it's too expensive. Man, listen, car accidents, cargo van accidents, sprinter van accidents, they can lead to costly damages and very expensive lawsuits. So if your cargo van liability policy only covers the minimum amount defined by law, the responsibility to pay the rest of the cost will be yours. Boss, I want you to think about that, okay? So you want to look for a broker who can understand the needs of your cargo van business and the risks to which it is exposed, so that together you can find the most suitable amount of liability coverage. Okay, again, when we talk about insurance in general, we're thinking about risk mitigation, we're thinking about risk management. Okay, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are talking about cargo van insurance mistakes you must absolutely avoid so you don't lose money big time. So number three, the third mistake, not reviewing your policy before renewing. It's absolutely necessary. Necessary to review your policy periodically. So rates may vary, new processes and products may be introduced to the market, and your coverage may no longer be aligned with your current needs. This happens all the time. So please talk to an insurance company, or you can talk to your insurance agent, so you have a clear idea. Okay, not only in terms of your needs, because sometimes you can say, my needs have changed. Okay, because maybe now I'm just hauling more loads for local shippers, or I'm doing more OTR. I'm going more on the road, or I'm actually doing a lot of out of states, load hauling right now. But the thing is, depending on the kind of hauling you have to really adjust your insurance. If you're doing reefer, if you're doing refrigerated, let's say perishable, perishable loads, for example, you might need a specific type of insurance for that, because if something happens, the clients might actually sue your ass, and if you don't have insurance, you can't protect yourself. Okay, so it's important to think about that. The bottom line here is what? The bottom line is that to ensure that your coverage lives up to your expectations, make sure you're not paying too much or protecting yourself too little. Okay, that's the kind of balance you need to strike. That's the right balance you need to strike, so that in the end, should something happen, if something were to happen, you you know that your ass is covered. Okay, reviewing your insurance before renewal can help prevent some damage down the road. Again, there we go again in terms of the protection aspect of things. Mistake number 4, not getting adequate coverage for mobile equipment. Oh, this is a big one, boss. This is really important. See, the thing is that for your cargo van business, you probably have like some structurally solid, some structurally static equipment, but you also have some mobile equipment. Okay. And so when we talk about mobile equipment, again, it depends on the kind of loads you're hauling. Okay. And it depends on the geography you have. If you have to, let's say you are doing construction website delivery, or you're doing, let's say, like you're doing those sort of niche deliveries, you might need some kind of equipment to sort of make the life a lot easier. Now, what if you're not? What if those pieces of equipment have a problem, or they cause, let's say, an accident? If they're not insured, or if you're not insured, you might have a problem. Okay, so mobile equipment is industrial and or commercial equipment used to move and transport materials. So these machines, which may now like may help you get the job done, are kind of cool when it comes to they're very important when it comes to getting your job done anyway. So you can actually, these machines may tow, excavate, lift, push, or move. And they include forklifts, backhoe loaders, cranes, among many others. So mobile equipment insurance can be a little more complicated to understand because in many cases, these vehicles are covered by a general liability policy. However, they may need auto liability insurance for other situations. So if your cargo van business deals with this sort of machines, I want you to think real deep because again, the consequences of no coverage or a little coverage are really big. I mean, I'm talking about a financial consequence here. Okay, so generally, if the equipment is being used in the workplace or in relationship with your hauling, like if you're hauling loads for clients, for a shipper, or through a freight dispatcher or through a freight broker, the thing is that the liability coverage that will cover any incident is general liability. However, if the equipment is in transit and an accident occurs on the way, the auto liability policy is the ideal coverage to have. So this is a necessary protection for mobile equipment that will be traveling on public roads. And also if you're doing OTR, if you're actually going through state lines, you got to think about that. So bottom line is not getting adequate coverage for mobile equipment is a big ass mistake you need to avoid. Mistake number 5, choosing a low deductible at any cost. Boss, this is so important. I mean, I don't want you to focus only on cargo van insurance and think about the low cost. Don't focus only on the cost. Don't focus only on having like, I want to have a low deductible. Listen, if you're thinking of having a low ass deductible, remember, if an accident happened, if an incident happened, even if that incident is covered, you might have to actually pay the overage. If the insurance company doesn't actually pay you a lot to actually cover your ass in that let's say in that situation, you are going to fork the excess of cash. And you don't want to hear the numbers we're talking about. We're talking 4 digits. We're talking 5 digits. Okay, so don't focus only on the deductible and say, I want to have a low deductible at any cost. No, deductible is the amount of money you have to pay for a loss before your insurance company starts paying your claim under the terms of your policy. A low deductible equals a high premium and vice versa. Okay, the decision of which method works best will ultimately depend on the risks your vehicle is exposed to during your company's daily operations. So let me give you an example. Let's say your cargo van business, your cargo van itself, the company, the vehicle itself, only makes deliveries within an area with a low accident rate, and you don't often claim insurance. A policy with a higher deductible may be fitted. Okay, so this is what you want to think, and but it really depends again on the geography. It depends on your driving patterns. It depends on the traffic patterns in that area. Okay, boss. Once again, let me just quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about cargo van insurance mistakes you must absolutely avoid, so you don't actually end up paying big time. You don't actually end up having a big time loss. The point I'm trying to make here is that when we talk about low deductible at any cost in general, remember that maybe you have no idea of what I'm speaking about, which is why I always say, you can always ask us questions if you want, or you can actually reach out to an insurance agent, because the insurance agent will know exactly more about your operations, will know about the geography you are actually hauling loads in, or the kind of clients you're actually hauling for, because some clients have insurance requirements. They have minimum insurance, they have maximum insurance, so you got to make sure you comply with their requirements. Mistake number 6: not insuring rentals or non-owned vehicles. Oh, that's a big one, boss. That's a big one. See, the thing is that, let's say you have a cargo van, or you have a fleet of cargo vans, okay, or you have sprinter vans, or you have a fleet of sprinter vans, okay, but it's like some of those vehicles you own, some you rent. It's really important to understand that even if you rent your cargo van for business, you are going to need to actually insure the van, because the there is insurance that comes with the rental agreement anyway, but there is extra insurance that you might need based on the activity you are actually using the van for. This goes back to what I said before in terms of the loads that you are hauling. Okay, depends on the niche that you are actually in. Depends on the kind of activity you engage in. So if you're doing OTR, if you're working at odd hours, if you're transporting some kind of a special equipment, or you're transporting special loads, you might need to have some kind of extra insurance. So vehicles that your company rents, leases, or contracts on a short-term basis, let's say less than 6 months, are considered rental vehicles. Non-owned vehicles are cars or vans that are owned by your company, not leased, and not used in operations, such as employees' cars, which are occasionally used for business purposes. So liability coverage for rental and non-owned vehicles may or may not be automatically included in a commercial auto policy. Okay, that's why it's important to provide as many details as possible to your insurance provider to ensure that no coverage is missed. Because again, the whole thing here is that you might say, well, I'm trying to save money, blah 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 blah. But if an incident occurs, you will be sorry that you forgot to tell your insurer that. So you want to pay more attention to detail when you purchase your cargo van auto insurance, because this can help you save a lot of cash down the road. Okay, because you can actually invest those savings into more robust coverage. So avoid the mistakes that I just explained to you, because it's all about making sure that you are covered. Okay, when we talk about insurance, cargo van insurance, sprinter van insurance, box truck insurance, 18 wheeler, or we're talking about semi, all those types of insurance, they all boil down to one word, or two words for that matter: risk mitigation. You want to cover your ass should something happen. Okay, because stuff happens and stuff will happen. Mistake number 7: thinking like an employee versus a business owner. Oh, this is so important, because many owner operators don't think about shopping their insurance, because they're still thinking like an employee and not like a business owner who looks for opportunities to cut costs and grow profits. Okay, so you need to understand, if you are listening to me right now, if you're having an employee mentality, this can help actually hold you back big time. Think about it. When you are an employee, you are conditioned to look to your employer to cover most of your professional and even some of your personal insurance needs. And it's very easy for owner operators, especially those who are new to the business, to think of the motor carrier as if it were their employer. So if that carrier offers insurance and automatically deduct the premium from their settlements, they'll often accept that plan by default, not thinking there are other options available. Okay, so what I want you to really think about is that if you're an owner operator, you should shop every aspect of your expenses, including insurance. Okay, don't actually settle for the status quo and think, oh, okay, this is a great plan, whatever. No, you want to shop your insurance to find out, and that's really thinking like a business owner. And mistake number 8: overlooking potential coverage gaps. Okay, so suppose you stay with, let's say you actually stay with the old plan that you have, but your needs have changed in the meantime, right? You are probably doing like more OTR loads now. You're doing more hazmat loads, and we all know all the additional risks that hazmat loads will bring onto to your business, obviously you can charge more. I mean, you can charge more in terms of rate per mile, rate per load, or rate per contract. But the thing is that this requires also an extra. It requires extra income, but also extra expenses in terms of insurance. So if you there could be a potential like coverage gap if you are switching from quote unquote a niche like a load niche, a regular load niche that you have, like transporting equipment or transporting goods from point A to point B, to go into a niche like a very specific niche. What I'm trying to say here is that anytime you think about hazmat, anytime you think about OTR loads, anytime you think about those loads that are not common, you automatically have to think about a potential coverage gap. You want to make sure that you have the proper insurance there. Mistake number 9, misunderstanding how your vehicle is valued. So how your cargo van is valued, okay? Now, the thing here is that normally commercial cargo van insurance policies are practically based on stated value and not agreed value. And that's a distinction some expediters overlook that can lead to unpleasant surprises later, okay? And even those who are not in the expediting business can also make that mistake. Okay, what exactly is the difference and why does it matter? So the stated value, this is the value that you provide to the insurance company. So when you make an insurance claim, the insurance company looks at your stated value in the policy and the actual cash value of your vehicle, of your cargo van, and at the point just prior to the accident, and pays whichever is less. And what is the agreed value? Now, this is the amount that you and the insurance company have agreed to be the value of the van when you sign up for the policy. So in a loss event, the insurance company guarantees to pay the full agreed upon value set in the policy. So why does this distinction matter? Because some cargo van drivers, owner operators assume that their insurance is based upon agreed value when it's really the stated value. Okay, and so they will overvalue their vehicle on their insurance policy and pay a higher premium as a result, thinking they'll get more money back. So this is something you have to think about. And the last mistake I want you to really avoid is neglect the impact of credit on insurance costs. So some owner operators don't understand how the credit history affect their cost of insurance. So it really impacts your rates and down payments required. But if this isn't just like an expediting thing or a cargo van thing. Credit affects all your insurance, homeowners, personal auto, and so forth. Okay. So the idea here is that if you have experienced, let's say, financial challenges that have brought down your credit score, your FICO score, it's not the end of the story. When you are aware of the impact of your credit upon your business costs, like insurance, for example, you are more likely to develop and act on a plan that puts on a stronger financial footing to raise your credit score and ultimately lower your insurance costs. Okay, so there is a strong correlation. And that's the point I want to make here. There's a strong correlation between your credit score and your insurance costs. Okay, actually, they go. There is an inverse relationship. It's not one-on-one. There's an inverse. So when your credit score goes up, your insurance policy tends to go down. Your insurance premium tends to go down, including your deductible. Okay, because the insurance company is looking at you as a lower risk, as a lower credit risk, and the reverse is also true. Okay, so it's important to think about that. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I share with you our top 10 cargo van insurance mistakes you must absolutely avoid so you don't end up paying like big ass sort of amounts if there's an accident or incident. Thank you. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.